Alright YouTube, here's Heiko reporting to you from my garage. In front of me you can see a parts washer that I purchased at Harbor Freight the other day, being put together by my personal slaves. My 3 kids are in charge of putting the legs on. I showed them the first one and they're doing the other one, and in the meantime I'm just supervising and watching. Right? Und du hältst die Beine fest. Richtig? So yeah, that's how that works. That's how work is done properly. Hey YouTube, here's Heiko reporting again from my garage. What you see here in front of you in between all this mess is my new parts washer. In the past I have been using just buckets, or I have a cement mixing, what is it called? It's like a big plastic tub, and then I used mineral spirits or kerosene to clean engine parts, transmission parts, that kind of thing. I also have a little ultrasonic cleaner that I use for carburetors, which probably sooner or later has to be replaced because it's like the plastic is cracking everywhere. It's one of those cheap Harbor Freight, but you know, it has saved many lawnmowers from early retirement. So now I have a parts washer. As you can see in the color combination here, this is also Harbor Freight, but honestly I compared a few different models. I went to Tractor Supply, looked at theirs. I went to a car parts store here in town that had one, and they look exactly the same. The sheet metal is the same. The shape is the same. The pump assembly is the same. And since all those parts look identical besides the color, I just couldn't justify spending $50–60 more just because there's a different brand name on it. The replacement pumps for those, if the pump really is a worse quality than the other brands, is $20 on eBay, and I would still be ahead price-wise. I mean, I was pretty tempted to order one from Amazon in bright yellow. Looked a little nicer, but it's exactly the same shape, has the same lid on it, the same fusible link contraption here, the same tray. Here, let me zoom out a little bit for you. The same little small part bin, the same pump assembly, the same gooseneck, all the same. So that's why I went with a $94 contraption from Harbor Freight. I didn't make a video on how to put this together because really you guys can figure that out. You know, my little kids helped me. They put all the screws in and I just tighten them up. So maybe I add that to this video. Anyways, assembly is really simple. The pump assembly here just slides through a hole and kind of locks in position. And for the first time using a parts washer, I've never had one. I've looked around what other people think about what type of cleaner I should use. These assemblies, all those similar ones, different brands, they have a pump that's pretty much all made of plastic, and they are made for water-based solvents only. You can probably run some parts washer fluid that's petroleum-based. Tractor Supply sells some stuff in 5-gallon tubs, or no, 5-gallon buckets, but it is a kerosene, no, not kerosene, a petroleum-based product that will have a little bit of some fumes. It is also flammable. Since we're running 220 volt into this little pump, I'm assuming that, I don't know, in here, is there a transformer in here that turns it down to 12 volt? I don't think that this little pump in here is really 120 volts, but I don't know, I haven't taken it apart yet, but remember that petroleum-based solvents are usually flammable and you will have some fumes. And I'm in a garage that's right underneath living space. So I decided to go with Purple Power at Walmart. They sell 2.5 gallon containers. There are a couple empty ones. Purple Power 2.5 gallon for $11.67, I believe, plus tax, of course. So I bought 3. So I have 7.5 gallons of fluid in here. You know what? Let me pause and turn on some more light for you. All right, guys, I'm back. Turn on some more light so you can actually see what's going on in here. So 7.5 gallons. Here on this pump housing, there's a line right up here, right above the filter. Oh, now I dipped my finger into it. That's great. This is the maximum line. So I'm assuming if I get another 2.5 gallons, then I'm at 10 gallons. They usually say about 12 fit in here. From what I've put in here and where I've gotten with that, I would say 2.5, 3 more gallons, and I will have this filled up all the way. But the pump is already in the fluid, so I can already run it. Luckily, I have an outlet right there. So I'm going to turn that on for you. Let's point it somewhere so I don't make a mess. So this is pretty nice, quiet. My Purple Power is coming out in a nice steady stream. So I gotta say, from how this went together, how the parts fit together, and how it just started up, I'm pretty happy with it. Now I'm going to have this Purple Power sitting in here, and if tomorrow the paint starts peeling off, of course I will let you know. But from how the parts fit and how everything looks, I think it is worth every cent of the $74 I paid for it, because I had a $20, 20% off coupon. And the dude in the store told me I saved 20 bucks. So, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, somewhere around the $75 range. And that's much cheaper than all the other brands sell their parts washer, even though it is exactly the same. And like I said, replacement pumps are easy to come by. I might actually go with something else, put a low pressure fuel pump on the outside, and then maybe get myself a water sediment filter that's used in plumbing and house plumbing to run this water-based solvent through the sediment filter to catch all the debris, all the debris that I wash off. And this parts washer actually has a drain plug. Here, let me turn on the light for you. There's a drain plug. So maybe I can even tie the pump into that, suck it from the bottom, and then spit it out back into the container here. I ordered myself one of those parts washer brushes that have a hose connected to it that can slide right over here. So until this pump dies, I will not change anything. I will just use it as it is. If it dies, then I will maybe work on something else. Like I said, buy a cheap $20 fuel pump, a gasoline pump from a car, and then set up a filter contraption, and then maybe suck the fluid through the bottom drain and then pump it back into the sink here. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it, and I gotta say, from the research that I did and the other models that I looked at, they're all made in the same factory, just different paint color. So this is Harbor Freight. Luckily, they don't have a massive sticker here on the front, so I'm pretty happy about this. Bought myself a little, I think this is for tile cleaning, for the grout line cleaning. It's a little stiffer, nice stiff brush. It was like $1 at Walmart. I also got myself some household type style gloves that are perfectly fine for purple power. Since I'm not using any petroleum based solvents here, I think this is just fine. They are large. I rather have X large hands, so it's pretty tough to get those on, but better than my normal nitrile or latex gloves that I use, because they're just a little longer. You know, this stuff is definitely not super healthy on the skin. That's why I mentioned that I dipped my finger into it, so better go wash my hands. But yeah, it works right out of the box, assembled pretty easily, as you probably will see as a little attachment to this video here, because my 3-year-old, 7-year-old, and 9-year-old put it together. Yeah, that is my report about the new parts washer from Harbor Freight for $75 with a 20% off coupon. So don't be hesitant to buy it. Like I said, they all look the same, work the same. Oh, I almost forgot my third little addition. This is a 300 watt immersion water heater that just plugs into a 110 volt outlet. I could have probably bought one that has 1,000 watts, probably a little easier. So I can hang this into the cleaner here, just like so. Oop. You don't want to get the plastic in there. And then I just stick it in the outlet and maybe pull on the cord a little bit. And that heats the fluid. So now, actually only takes a few seconds and it already starts steaming around the heating element down there. Yeah, and I will try that out if I can get this to, you know, a little bit warmer. Here in the garage it's usually pretty cool, cold, especially in the winter. Never freezes, never gets too cold in here, but when I have a big project coming up, if I want to clean some transmission parts, I just stick that in here for a little while, half an hour, while I take stuff apart, and then unplug it, take it out. I think that might help the cleaning performance of Purple Power a little bit. And again, since it's water-based, it shouldn't burst into flames here, so I think I'm pretty safe. And 300 watts is pretty small. The most that you can suck out of a, let's say, 120 volt that I have here, 120 volts. We have 20 amp circuit, so 120 times 10 would be 1200 watts. So I potentially could get 2400 watts out of my outlet, which probably never going to happen because I have multiple outlets and there's always stuff plugged in everywhere. So let's say 1500 watts would be realistic, and I think that's the highest rated 110 volt immersion heater that they make. 1500 watts would probably do a better job heating this up quickly, but that's the only one that I could buy in town. So $7.65 later, better than nothing. I better unplug this now. It's actually pretty convenient. It hangs right over the lid. It's just the right length so it reaches the fluid down there. But like I said, I haven't tried it out yet. It's all good. Oh, it's steaming. Definitely gets hot. Yeah, it's getting hot. So drip, drip, drip. Cool off a little bit. And then I just put that right back here. No, yeah, I'm pretty happy. So anyways, guys, don't be hesitant to buy this Harbor Freight stuff. It's just about the same stuff that you can buy anywhere else. All right, take care. And if you like those kind of videos, I will make more. And please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye. Quick little addition here. I already got the parts brush in. Oriflow Traloy PBC USA, PBC USA, partsbrush.com. Comes with a hose, and at the end of the hose is a little rubber boot that seems to be made just for the gooseneck nozzle here in my parts washer, so it fits right over, slides pretty far, and then comes to a full stop. So this is a very tight fit. The brush itself has a little barb at the end where the other end of the hose just gets pushed on. The bristles are pretty stiff. I guess that's what you want. You know, with a rounded end, you want it to be stiff so you can, you know, get the nasties off. And yeah, now in this case you can literally get the nozzle out of the way, and then you have the hose. And I'll show you how much fluid comes out of the nozzle once it's turned on. So yeah, pretty decent pressure, as you can see here. I like it. You can clean and rinse at the same time. I haven't tried it yet on anything, but yeah, the hose off of Amazon, the brush and the hose with this contraption. If I find the link, I'll put it down in the description. So now I have this, and I also have my little manual brush. So now I'm ready to go. I just need another